Hi friends, I'm the vegan. I make corn chips today with a chili flavor. Yeah, I have bird's eye chili, but I show you the corn today first. This is frozen corn. Now I thawed it for a while, so I think it is easier to blend. Yeah, maybe a pound or so. And together with the corn, I will blend some coconut milk. Or coconut cream, better say, not milk, it's cream. The part, when you make coconut milk, the part that sits above and the water of the coconut is down, that part is the coconut cream. How to make it? You can watch a video on my channel. It's posted, it's linked under this video. So I maybe a cup or so put in the bottom of the blender. And now the corn, about. I hope it's already thawed enough, because the blender might have a problem if it's frozen. So it's important to thaw it before. I hope it's thawed enough, otherwise I will have to interfere. And here the bird's eye chili. This is a special kind of chili that is there's maybe 10 different kinds of sharpness, hotness, and this one is the medium one. Yeah, the hotter a chili is, the more fruity and more intense it tastes. It's very nice, but this is maybe the last you can touch with your fingers without wearing gloves. Yeah, the higher ones, a dealer told me, they even you have to protect your breath, your eyes and your hands if you work with them. It's only if you have a large quantity of food to make, then you use these very hot chilies. But that is nice because they are so fruity. The chili flavor is so much better. But you cannot make a small enough portion to season a small dish. So the bird's eye chili is really nice. It's a classical name, bird's eye chili, and you see just a third of a teaspoon or so. Not much will make a pound of corn, I guess, taste a little bit fiery, just a little bit in the background. Very nice hotness. Now let's see blender dance if it works. I have to do something. In a moment I come back. So what I try now, I have some coconut milk. From making the coconut cream, I have some coconut milk left over, and I will put something in that, like if you don't have a coconut milk, you can use water too. I just try to get the blender to work. I just put maybe a cup of coconut milk into the corn. So I hope that will work. Let's see. I have to stir it a little bit. One more attempt. It is still too cold. I will have a little bit more milk. And try it again. blending corn is always takes a little bit longer because the corn has such a firm texture. Here, you see, this is very smooth now. You see, looks very nice. And now I'll put it onto the dehydrator sheet. This is the teflex sheet of the dehydrator, and spread it evenly. So let's see. Half of the amount will be enough, I guess, for one sheet. I have a large spoon for that. And it should be thin. I like my chips crispy. I tried them thicker too. That's okay, but honestly, I like them better when they're really thin. That's the best. A friend of mine just once said, a chip is just a vehicle for something to put on, to put into the mouth, to drive into the mouth. Yeah, maybe that's not the only solution, but it explains pretty much this thinness. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, it just had to be spread evenly. And now, what I do now is I take a knife, a long and thin knife, to score it. I show you that too. That is important to do it immediately before drying it, dehydrating it. See? And I always take this knife because here has the same thickness as here in the beginning. So it's perfect to score. But this is thicker here. Some knives have a thick end here. Then it is not so easy to score it evenly. So I just make triangle shapes like this. I drive through it. One diagonal. And then the other side. I will continue to do that until everything is shaped or scored. That is very quick. You can watch me. That you know how I do it. You can use any kind of shape, of course, of your liking. I like triangle shapes for some reasons I don't know. I like triangle shapes, but any other kind of shape, any other shape would be nice too, of course. You don't need any shape. You can just break them in pieces. But the triangle shapes are nice also because I know the number of chips I have. If I have, for example, I guess one tray has 32 chips, same size. So when I go to a party or so, the people know, or not a party. Party doesn't matter. Yeah, you know, but whatever you like. You see how easy it is. And it's just only showing where the chips are going to crack a line. There's not more. And here, this guy had a little bit more coconut milk. When I have less coconut milk, it is even firmer. But here, you can see the lining, the scoring, you see? Triangles. 32 of them. Yeah, this will be now in the dehydrator, maybe for, let's say, 6 hours or so. Then, when it's dry on top, I turn it around and peel off the dehydrator sheet, and then I leave it for another couple of hours in the dehydrator. I come back in a moment now in the video. For me, it will be 6 hours or so, I'll tell you, and show you how to do that. See you in a moment. Hey, now these are crispy chips. At least I have to crack them now into crackers, into chips. You see? And now it's 9 o'clock. I would say 6 hours after the flipping, and they are crisp now. And I have to correct myself before the flipping, before I could flip them. that was about 10 or 11 hours, 10 hours I would say. So all around, run about maybe 16 hours, these crackers are done in the dehydrator. Of course, now I show you how I would usually crack them into small pieces. You see, these are so thin, you see, I just barely touch them and they already fall apart. See, this is a triangle shaped chip, almost triangle. Another one I have here, you see, they're wafer thin, and you see, crack. Isn't that nice? Very nice, and so very delicious. And just to show you how I could continue now, you just pick one of the corners, they're very tender, I don't want to destroy them, so very tender. I just pick them from the corners and they already fall apart into these triangle shapes. Very nice. Oops. I'm going to show you how I put them into a container to store them. Yeah, because they can be stored for a month. Yeah. Because they are dry, there's no water in there almost, very dry. So they won't turn bad. I have these containers here. And now these are 32 on one layer, and I have another 32 here. So I have 64, and they all go in here. This is a perfect container. I found this that was haphazardly. Yeah, I just take now the triangles, put them directly from the dehydrator. I put them right in here. You see, they fit exactly into the corners, like this. And this way, 4 would exactly fit. Another one here. And a third one, and a fourth one. So you see, there one layer has 4 chips, and it fits perfectly into these containers. And then I put a lid on top. Yeah, they are airtight. And once they are in here, they keep for a month, and they stay that crispy. They don't get soft or something. They remain like that, exactly like that. But I have to use it here in this container. As soon as I leave it open for an hour or so, they are soft. Yeah, the water comes in, but that is for this. I found out that I really have to be careful and not leave them open in the air. Yeah, so I take out some chips and close the lid. And then they stay crispy all the time. I can serve it to friends. They're delicious. Have a wonderful flavor. They are a little bit chili. They have a little bit chili flavor, and that is this bird-eye chili. There's difference from other flavor, pepper or so. The chili comes from behind. You put it in the mouth, and in the back of the mouth, this heat comes up. Very pleasant with 1,000 little stitches, like a little bit. That's very nice feeling, and it's a very pleasant heat, hotness from the chili. This is very special, and the corn has this huge earth character that can take so many different flavors and seasonings, and spicy and sweet. Yeah, these are, corn by itself is sweet, with coconut milk also sweet, and so that would be a perfect balanced chili, and the sweet from the corn and the earth, and that is a wonderful flavor. Yeah, this is a new variation of these wonderful corn chips I always make, and they're always a hit and everybody likes them. I don't need to buy any chips anymore. I eat my corn chips, and maybe I will find another recipe for maybe other kind of chips. There are hundreds and thousands out there. I will definitely go on once in a while. In general, I'm not so much a fan of dried fruit or food. I prefer fresh food, but once in a while it's nice to have something crunchy, crispy from the dehydrator, so I don't put so much attention on it, but well, once in a while it's nice. And it's also nice to explore something new. So for you now, thanks to watch me here in the video. I hope you enjoyed. If so, give me a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe and leave on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.